I want to share a picture with you.
Oh, please do.
Can you read it? Is it big enough?
Yes. What on earth is that?
An IPv6 six-man thread.
All of them?
No, no. Look, it's just it's just from the 23rd and a little bit from this morning. You know,
What are they talking about, I wonder?
nobody has any idea.
So this is not an email conversation, but what they call a slow chat, I guess.
No, it's email. That's email.
No, but I mean, when you're using an email like you would use a chat, they call it slow chat, I guess.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Okay. It's
Yeah,
just
I just like that a lot. I'm going to
listening to
remember
each
it.
other.
It's good.
Yeah, nobody was listening to each other, obviously,
Yes, but of course.
just like,
Hello. Hello.
See. So I am moving things down so that I can actually stare at the camera instead of above it. Um, so let's see. Um, what do we need to? I know what we need to do because I think I have just finished putting everything in the headstock, um, with one possible exception. Um, cool. Um, so, Michael, um, who wants to drive what?
um, I don't know. I think that we have one topic, which is the IANA considerations for FLAC.
And I could agree with you on that. Um, and I would suggest that we take a
Well,
peek at. I'm
actually,
sorry.
there's one more discus I'd like to discuss. It's a bit strange. A discuss look what item I would like to discuss, and that's the making a few documents normative because in the encapsulations um section of the document, I had some questions about that.
Yeah, I've got the other open discuss questions down here. So, um, but let's not totally jump ahead, although it is tempting. Um, let's see. Um, if let's see. So this is us and our usual boilerplate, and Spencer has cleverly not put the stuff in GitHub for this yet, but we will. But everything else for the interim meeting, but everything else should be close at least. And so letting everybody sign in and stuff like that. And we had draft minutes from, ooh, I did not update that. I'm sorry. Where am I? So this is our previous meeting, and Michael was good and put in meeting minutes for that. So I can do this. I can update this. Okay, now do we need to take a look at the minutes from our previous meeting? I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Has anybody had a chance to look at them yet?
Well, I used them because there were a few to-dos on the FLAC issues that I used, I guess, 2 months ago.
Good.
But I
Good.
haven't really, I haven't really read anything except that. But I just did a bit. I don't know. I guess they're fine.
Good. So, sorry, I'm just making sure that I have my alarm turned off there. So would you be okay if we said no objections, minutes passed?
Yes, no problem. No problem.
Yes.
Perfect. Did I not change that? Michael, the date of our last meeting was.
Yeah, no, I just noting that it was that the
Oh,
reason it's
the one was
skips
canceled.
a month is because it was
Yeah,
canceled.
yeah.
I was about to go like, that can't be right. And then I went, oh, no, we canceled it. That's why.
Yeah. Cool. So, and we have 2 documents in ISG evaluation, and which one? The Cellar tags document has been updated, and I think everything else is as it was. If I saw that correctly. And so we are celebrating that Matroska has its discuss has cleared, and so we'll talk about anything else we need to do. And we have one discuss, which is with several concurrences, which is not bad for FLAC. And just as I was looking at the milestones, Michael, we have some fairly old, and I can share that here. We have some fairly old dates for these specifications here, and are we marking if we were what? Yeah, I'm logged in. We should be able to do this. Do you remember off the top of your head how we mark things done?
How we should what? Mark things down?
Done.
Done.
In the milestones.
Well, I mean, so technically we've submitted Matroska to the ISG already,
Mm-hmm.
and we've submitted FLAC to the ISG already.
Right.
We're just not done submitting it. So I don't know, whatever.
But Spencer's opinion is that once it leaves the working group, we mark it done.
Okay,
Uh,
sounds good to
so,
me.
we actually have, okay, so two things. One is that we still have
I
FFE1
don't think we can
before.
do that without. I don't think we can mark it done without our 80. I think we can. We edit milestones, right?
Okay. Um, first question. We have seller codec and seller tags also listed as associated documents for Matroska.
Yep.
Um, are we putting those at a different milestone?
I would
Or
say we have to duplicate the milestone or something, or I don't know what.
okay. Um, and so mostly and the what is it? The chapter. I noticed this that the chapter. I'm sorry, the chapter document was not listed in the associated documents yet. So um, it would be nice for
Yeah,
us to
you're right.
do something with that also. And
Why don't we
um,
say let's create a milestone for Matroska associated documents, move codec and tags there, and add the
add
other
the
one.
chapter. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Um, for that and for it would be good for us to talk about dates for that target date.
I think we should come back to that when we're done.
That sounds like a
I think
deal.
we should come back. Yeah,
Yes.
not just done this meeting, but I mean, when we're done the uh, um, when we're done with these two documents, and I think the working group will have a better idea when what's
Yes.
what
How
is
busy?
realistic.
Who's going to be doing what in the meantime? Yes. Exactly. Perfect. Okay. Excellent. So cheating and moving this back over here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we talked about that one, and so our next thing on the agenda was are there any open comments on Matroska now that we have cleared the last discuss?
Not as far as I know. I don't know if Elwin, or what's his name, cleared things. I just realized last week that there was still some things pending from his comments, which I fixed this weekend, and also that's why I made a new document. And I think everything he raised was addressed. So I think it should be good, and that was the last remaining bits of things to address as far as I know. So for me, it's done.
Okay, cool. You're submitting like this week?
Yeah, on Sunday I sent a
Yeah,
motion to.
yeah, I could just say in a week or two.
Yeah, and I noticed when I submitted that there was a deadline for 23rd.
Oh, yes.
So that's why I also sent the tax one, which had a lot of changes. So
Hmm.
it's not cut off for the next time.
We have talked multiple times about saying that we're not going to enforce the ID blackout period before an ITF meeting for stuff that has already left the working group. And if if you're not able to submit that, we have obviously not made that change yet.
No, I think we have to send it to the AD. You send the XML file to the AD and he posts it. Or she posts it.
That works too. Excellent. Okay, cool. And so that's Matroska. So our next thing would be for us to talk about FLAC. And so we have one discuss from Roman, and we have, beyond that, we have enough positions to pass once we clear the discuss. And I know there's been a decent amount of email conversation about this already. Where are we on the registry location?
Yeah, the thing is, I brought it up a few months ago, and I am not sure what we discussed then or what we decided. Now it seems that most ADs, of most people on the ISG, have the opinion that it should be an IANA registry. I don't think that's a problem. I don't think there's really a community of FLAC people that want to have it with ZIF. So I think it's fine. I just don't. I can just copy from the Matroska document, I guess. The allocation would be first come, first served, I guess. The policy.
Are we talking about? And I'm sorry, I'm taking notes also. Maybe I should be trying to do one thing at a time. So we understand the questions from the ISG, which is basically the ISG and the IETF that they represent, thinks that if something is under IANA control, that it's not going to go away suddenly. And they don't have that same confidence about most other URLs that we might put in documents. So that
I agree.
that makes it, yeah.
The thing is that it's just not just the URL or the reference and that the page stays there, but the problem is also that there have been years where the registry was not maintained. So if hypothetically, I don't think it happened, but if someone would have sent an email to the FLACDev mailing list asking for registration between, I think, 2009 and 2016, it would not have been picked up. So I'm not actually confident that the registry is complete. It might have been that there have been people.
Well, they wouldn't have got a number then. They wouldn't have gotten a number back, right?
Yes, of course.
So did they just pick their own? Maybe. Okay. Well, if we discover that to be the case, then there's ways of getting them. And someone says, "Oh, but I have number 22," unless it's in conflict with another one. We have ways of getting that into the IANA registry after the fact.
And I don't think that's
a concern, a big concern to me.
No, I didn't mean that would be a concern, but it would be a reason to put it in the bring the registry to the IANA, because then that won't happen again.
Agreed.
So I think it's a good idea.
Okay, and so yeah, so was that 2009 to 14? You said the gap period.
I think it was 2009 to 2016.
Okay, cool. So yeah.
I don't think the maintainer at the time after 2016 even would have known what you would mean if you would ask for registration. Would be have I think the past
Okay.
maintainer would have had a lot of question marks if you said, I want to register an application idea.
Okay.
So registry has been in bad shape. So
am I remembering? So this is Spencer asking the question that Spencer thinks he knows the answer to. We would not plan to do any cleanup from that, or would we plan to ask the FLAC community of any other values that are in use?
No, I think
that, but not registered.
I don't think it's necessary. I've checked the mailing list during that time, and I haven't found anything on it. There was at some point a form, but internet forms and websites usually don't work. So I would have expected people who send in a form and didn't hear back within a month to ask the mailing list, and there's nothing on the mailing list. So I don't think there's anything. There are any loose ends, but might be.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's necessary
also in libflac. The list of IDs also in the code.
No, it's just it's not somewhere in the code. It's just a list of really third-party IDs. If you want some metadata block for your own application, you use that ID, and it's nowhere in the code of FLAC code.
So pretty much no one uses that, apart from the few tried.
No, not really.
Okay, cool.
So I guess I can just copy one of the IANA registry forms from the Matroska document, because there's another first come first served, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, I think that's the right policy, first come first served, because there's no need to. There has never been a need to do anything formal like add a specification or something. The current entries don't have a specification either. So.
And so it would be good to say that matches FLAC practice in the past.
Okay.
And I've just been through coming up with changes to a IANA section in another document within the past 10 days. So even if I wasn't the shepherd, feel free to make me do work.
Well, I can ask you to write it, or
No, well, tell me what you think it should look like, and I can review it even before you need to submit it, if you want to do
Okay,
that.
I'll do a PR on GitHub and
Yeah,
tag you in it.
perfect. Okay, perfect. Other open discuss questions?
Well, one thing I have problems with is that I sometimes don't know how to reply to things. For example, if you scroll down a little, there's one question asking, what is a brightly colored fish? I don't know. I've been asking myself that. There's a list of picture types. So
Yeah.
it is a list with band of a cover of the record and the band logo and stuff like that. And there's one odd
Yeah.
entry. It's a brightly colored fish. I suppose it's a joke. I've been looking all over the internet for the answer. And someone says it's a red herring, so it's a plot device to keep you looking somewhere else. But,
Yes.
you know, I don't know. It's copied straight from the ID3 version 2 specification. There's no real need to change it. If it would change, then or it would removed. Well, it was copied from the ID3 version 2 document, so implementers would have no need to work with two different tables. But you know, I can't really answer that question. I can only say I don't know. It was copied. It's probably a joke.
So I know that we've
maybe
had
we
some
should just
discussion
document it as like April 1 allocation and go on.
Okay. Yeah, well, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's not a joke, but I can't think of anything else.
But you can say without fear of contradiction where it came from.
Yes, I can.
So if you do that, then we don't have to explain the joke.
Okay.
So some of the ADs have a good sense of humor. Some of them don't. So don't start out don't start out assuming we can make them think it's funny.
Okay. So should I specifically address that entry 17? It's 17, right? Yeah, entry 17 is probably a joke stemming from the ID3 version 2 document, or because the document already says that the whole block is copied from the ID3 version 2 specification. Okay. So should I specifically point out that it's probably a joke, or?
I don't think you even need to say that. You just okay. So is this the first document you've worked on that's gone through the ISG?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So so basically, you are getting emails, and they have questions, and they have comments, and statements, and comments, and questions, and stuff like that from the different ADs. So you can just reply to those, point by point as you go through them. And then the ADs are expected to read your responses and say, oh, I get it, or I still have a question, or whatever,
Okay.
And if you do that just point by point, going back to the AD who said that, that then that's you're having the conversation with the person you need to have the conversation with.
Okay.
So this is Roman doesn't. I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's no need to specifically address every discuss comment in the document. I can just
Right.
if I feel like there's no need to really explain it, well, you can say, well, there's a question, so probably the document needs to explain it, not because someone didn't understand. But in this case, probably it's just enough to reply like, it's probably a joke. It stems from that document, and
yeah,
that should
and
that should
yeah,
be
so
enough.
basically anybody who needs to be using that value because they are doing stuff that's based on that document, that it would be their job to figure out what a brightly colored fish is. But we
By
don't
the way,
we
all
don't need to have
the
IETF consensus on what a brightly colored fish is.
Okay.
all the IDs in that list coming from ID 3v2.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the table is really copied one directly. So, but
So you
I
should
wouldn't.
probably list it as either informative or normative reference, because
Yes,
if
that
they
was one of
send the
the
values,
comments of Roman 2. That there should probably
and
be a
then
reference.
yeah, once you link that to the reference, then it's not your problem to say why there's a 17 value is that
Yeah,
name. It's
Yeah,
from
okay.
somewhere else.
Probably a good
perfect.
idea.
Yeah, perfect. Cool.
And there was one other thing. I mailed that in. Roman sent the discus and the comment, and then he sent me a mail in private. I think the chairs got it too. And I replied to that specifically on. So the rest of the working group didn't get that email, if I'm not mistaken. It was on the containers. So it's the bullet point which starts with section 10. Since the document is describing normative behavior on embedding this work into another container, that other container needs to be named normatively. The funny thing is that has been the case in the past, but then I got ID NITS warnings that it's a downref. So I changed it to informative references. Probably stupid to do that. I don't know.
No. I mean that. So that's going to be resolved in one of two ways. One is what you did, and if that's the right thing to do, you did the right thing. And the other way is for us to tell Murray, oh, this as this becomes normative, we did the right thing, but as this becomes normative, we just need to ping the community and say, we have noticed this down ref. Does anyone object to us pointing to this document? That's a perfectly fine thing to do, and that's the AD's job basically. But that would be so we would be looking at OG and Matroska as normative references.
Yes, but I had the problem with that is we described 3 mappings. 2 are complete, and the third on mapping to MP4, that is incomplete. It says so the mapping to MP4 is so extensive that it's not included in the document. And here's a summary. But if we make awk and matroska a normative reference, then I would think MP4 would need to be an informative reference, normative reference as well. But that document is not freely accessible. Costs you €98 to read it.
So I don't think that we have to be consistent on that point. We are not we are mentioning them, and that's okay. You don't need to read the MP3. Was that what you said? Was it MP3 or MP4? You don't need to read that to implement FLAC for Matroska, and that's what we're describing, right? So that's an informative reference, and we're also not describing all of it because it's not our container and it's not free. And
well,
so
actually, the document is describing how to put FLAC in MP4. That's the third. So it describes 3 encapsulations: to awk, to Matroska, and to MP4.
But you said the MP4 document is not available.
Yes.
Wait, slow down for a second. Is it not available, or is it available for a price?
So the MP4 document is available for a price.
Okay, that's not the same as not being available.
Okay, sorry.
And
If
well,
you
no.
put a link to a
If
GitHub
you
repository,
It is actually an option. You are not, FLAC in MP4 is only one part of FLAC, so you don't need the MP4 for a document if you don't care about MP4. So
yes, I agree, but the Roman said, so if you can describe FLAC and awk, you need to have awk as a normative reference, and if you describe FLAC in Matroska, you need to have Matroska as a normative reference. So if you describe FLAC in MP4, you need to read MP4 as a normative reference. And for the ADs to accept the document, they would need to read the MP4 document.
They might have to read it, yeah. So you know what? Let's ask our AD what they would like us to do. One of the options is to just remove the text.
Yes, I was thinking of that too. Just say, okay, the FLAC in MP4 specification is out of scope. It's in this document. This document is already linked. That's a text document somewhere on a GitHub. And we just remove the summary and then say, okay, it's out of scope. Done. I just remove the summary and we say, we described FLAC in awk and we described FLAC in Matroska, but we are not going to describe FLAC in MP4.
We have MP4 in the FFV1 document also, so I check how it is. Normative or not?
I haven't gotten far enough with that to
because it is the same thing. We have a mapping of FFV1 in MP4 exactly as
yes, and those
described.
I'm pretty sure that was an informative reference, but apparently no one noticed that during ISG evaluation. I think.
Right.
I checked that too.
Such things. So the IETF process is not an exact science. I gave you that. Let me tell you what I think we just said and tell me if I'm confused. So we said our proposal is that we would remove the text from our document as out of scope, and that we would point to the MP4 document as an informative reference.
The GitHub copy. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Because we can't definitively say whether it's accurate or not without having people review the document that they don't have access to. So essentially, why would we bother to include that, except to note that it exists, but we don't know whether we cannot provide a reviewable version that is authoritative because we can't do that, we can't be authoritative.
Okay, so another working group that Murray is responsible for is AVT Core, and they have been having a jumping up and down fit over a informative normative reference. And it's been handled about as badly as it is possible to as it is possible to handle a situation. And I've been paying attention to that. So let's try to make Murray's life easy by doing the right thing, not just to make Murray's life easy. So
ask him what he wants us to do.
well, that's always a fair thing to do. Another possibility is to tell him, this is what we think the right answer is. Do you have any objections?
Sure.
So my question is, do we care? So do we think it's important to the FLAC community to be able to encapsulate the stuff in MP4?
It is already done in practice, so actually we don't really care so much about that.
The thing is that the FLAC document that we have now at the IETF only has a summary of how to encapsulate, because it already refers to another document.
Right.
For the actual encapsulation, with the, because that's a document of, I think, 20 pages or something. It was way too extensive to include. So what I'm proposing now is remove the summary, so there is no doubt about whether or not this document specifies FLAC and MP4. It now kind of does and kind of doesn't, because it includes a summary. And we can just say, if you want to encapsulate FLAC and MP4, go read that document. That's informative.
Pay your 94 euros and done. Yeah.
Well, so, and I want to say this out loud, 95 euros is historically not too much money for the IETF to expect implementers to pay to implement a specification. There are people who become irritated by that from time to time, but the most I've heard somebody being charged for a document that was trying to be an IETF normative reference was $4,000. Okay, somebody could tell me that's not available enough, but 95 euros isn't that. Also, it is often common. Well, it happens often that we contact the people who control a specification, and this is actually what's going on with the thing in AVT Core, saying that we have reviewers who need to who will not be implementing this, but they need to make sure our document that hand waves in that direction is accurate. Can you give us review copies? And that commonly the answer is yes. So if hanging on to that in our document was important, I would be happy to have that argument with Murray. If we don't think it's super important, I would be, let me ask the other dumb question. So when somebody comes up with another container format, which is not MP4, Matroska, or OGG, we're not going to be surprised. We're not going to be surprised that somebody has to go read, container X document in order to make that happen. Does that sound about right?
Yes, it is the reason that in this case, the person who implements FLAC in MP4 has the document for sure.
Yeah. The fact that there's an MP4 document that describes how to do this, that's interesting. But we can also, we can say basically we're describing OGG and Matroska as container formats, and that there's nothing that ties FLAC to either one of those container formats, I think, right? And if that's true,
no, it doesn't.
So that basically, other container formats could be used. They're just not described in this document. And if you say that, I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do.
Yes, I think that's the best way to resolve this. Just refer to the document.
Yeah. Like I say, just say there. If you're using another container format, there's no dependency in FLAC on the ones that are described in this document. But if you're using another container format, that you'll need to figure out how to do that. And for MP4, the good news is I want to do that. So MP4 thinks there's already a document. So you should order that. But we don't have to say that.
Okay, I'll think on it. I don't think there are any other discuss comments that made me very nervous. So I think I can handle the rest. The thing is only it's a bit embarrassing to say, but I'm in a bit of a burnout currently, and I'm in the process of trying to buy a house. So I'm not sure.
We celebrate that with you. Number one, number two. You would not be the first person or the last person to be slightly burned out by a document you've been working on. And
it's not because of that, but it's just all things together.
No,
anyway,
we seriously, we celebrate with you. So,
but I would like to say, usually I would handle these. I've handled this previously very quickly. I would have liked to handle this before this meeting, but it's not going to happen.
Okay, so take the time you need to get over those things. Okay, we're not in a particular rush. We're also recognize that. So where are we? We're in the IESG review. So they're not going to come back and getting them to clear their discusses and stuff in the next month is going to be a hassle anyway. So don't rush on that side, is what I would say as well. Don't try to buy a house that contains FLAC.
I just wanted to say that it might take a while longer than you're expected. Than I usually take for these things to finish this.
Okay.
I guess that's all for FLAC.
If you, so I know we've been talking about this stuff on the mailing list. I was not paying close attention to whether the ISG or individual ADs were copied on any of that discussion.
Sometimes,
and I'm not.
Yes.
So basically, the one thing that I would suggest, and if you okay, I'm not going to pick a date. I'm going to say the first thing that I would do if I were you is to just go through and compose an email for the discuss questions and comments and the comment questions and comments from Roman. And then there's from Paul, Warren, and Zahid and Eric, and any responses there. If you'd like me to look at those responses, I would be happy to. Just so you're not trying to negotiate with people that you don't know.
Okay.
Does that help?
I'll have a think on it. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, just tell us how we can help. That's something
okay. Martin, will you be in Prague for the no time to wait?
I won't be in Prague.
Okay. We had Dave. He was part of the meeting, but now he's not. Do the rest of you be in Prague?
Yes, I will be.
Spencer is actually not in Prague this time, and Spencer is irritated about that. But anyway.
Okay.
Steve,
Me
you
neither.
are. No,
No,
you
no,
come or not? No, you don't.
no, it's too far for me.
Okay. Just wondered. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, cool. Did we have, are there any, so no other comment? Go ahead.
For
I'm sorry.
information about FFV1, V0 to V3, Michael Niedermeyer worked on a patch on a specific issue. It is when the width or height of the picture is odd, and when there is some chroma subsampling, the behavior of the reference encoder and decoder is not good, and the specification is not very clear about this topic. So yeah, Michael sent on the FFmpeg devel list a proposal of patch for that, and I need to review it a bit more. I did the first review, but I need to do another review. And if this patch is accepted, we will have to do some kind of errata on the FFV1 V0 to V3 specification. So it is a very corner case. It is just like if you have a chroma subsampling and pixel width, for example, of 101. There is such kind of issue. So the encoding and the decoding are wrong. It is very rare. In practice, nobody does that, but yeah, there is such kind of issue.
And we will do the right thing, of course.
So
whatever that is.
The fix for that is not completely easy, and yeah, it will require an errata somewhere.
Okay. So, any other business?
No.
No.
Okay, then.
Cool.
The next meeting is December 5th, although I guess I don't think we should try to do something at no time to wait, seeing as we have some conflicts and remote access and stuff like that, and not everyone will be there anyway. So I think December 5th will be fine.
Cool. Cool. And just to be clear about what Spencer was trying to blathering when he was saying this before, if we decide that we need to have, so I have not looked. So is OG standards track or informational?
Org is informational, so that would be a downrev.
Okay, so and we're going to that. So that's the thing that Spencer should follow up with Murray on.
An update into the Shepherd write-up.
Cool. Will do. Matroska is standards track, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So if FLAC comes out of RFC editor before Matroska, then it will have to wait for Matroska to finish first, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's right.
but Matroska's got all the ballots it needs to pass. So
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
think it will happen, but I don't know
yeah.
how RFC editor works. Maybe someone will take a
Yeah.
lot
So
more time. I don't know.
if you did beat it into the RFC editor queue, then you would just wait until it was published. It's called a misref, and it happens all the time. And the worst case was the document waited 5 years.
Well, and the worst
That's
case,
pretty bad.
well,
Yeah,
the
it was really
worst,
bad.
the worst cases are the ones where you're depending on a document in another working group that the other working group has lost interest in. So that's not
That's
actually
even
I can
worse.
understand.
that's not actually the case for
usually
us.
usually you fix it somehow. But anyway,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
yeah.
Everything Michael said was true.
It was 89 RFC 8990. It was really sad, but anyway.
Cool. And is there anything else that we need to talk about, other business for us?
Not that I know of.
Cool. Thank you, guys. And I apologize for being slightly fragmented since the last meeting, and I'm really impressed that we've gotten as much stuff as we have done with almost no input from me. Good job.
Great. Thank you again, Martin. Steve,
Yeah, thank you
Michael,
all.
Dave,
Yes.
Jerome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks.
So
Bye-bye.
see you in
Take
December
care.
then.
Sounds like a deal.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.